It is hot down there. I will not be taking this jacket off for the rest of the day. Listen, last Saturday was heartbreaking for the Volunteers, losing to the Georgia Bulldogs in overtime. I know there aren't moral victories, but this is the truth. Everyone feels better about Tennessee football after watching that.
Justifiably so. They absolutely should. So Tennessee, you may have lost the battle, but they're very much still in the war, especially in the college football playoff era. And there's a likelihood if this team continues to progress the way that it has, it's still not a healthy squad, you may see them in Atlanta contending for a conference championship.
And we could go position group by position group, but let's just start with the passing game. Joey Aguilar and Chris Brazel went off last Saturday against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, Tennessee should be absolutely thrilled with what they have at the quarterback position in Aguilar. And it's not just the accuracy as a thrower, it's the accuracy in the decision making. He plays very fast mentally. There are decisions to be made after the ball is snapped, and you can tell he's very much in sync early on with his receivers, and chiefly with Chris Brazel, who went off last week. The 6 catches, 3 of which go for touchdowns. He's such a big target. Even when he's covered, he's open.
They get the football first, too. And for more on Mr. Brazel, let's send it down to Alyssa.
Yeah, Taylor, I promise I have not joined the band here, but Chris Brazel did have a career performance a week ago. And if you ask him, there was a time where he never thought that this was possible. He told me back at Tulane, he knew he was a good athlete, but it wasn't until his wide receivers coach, Coach Wright, came to his dorm one day and said, "You're different. You could make it to the NFL." That kind of lit a fire under Chris Brazel. Of course, he transfers to Tennessee last year in his first season with this Vols offense, and then last week, a career day. Talking to offensive coordinator Joey Halsley, he said confidence is one of the biggest differences in Chris Brazel from last year to this year. Brazel told me he's not second-guessing himself anymore. He has such a great understanding of this offense, and Halsley said they intentionally get the ball in his hands early to build that confidence game by game.
Alyssa, the Vols play Trent Dilfer. Look at him taking photos of Neyland Stadium. 4 years as a high school coach in Nashville at Lipscomb Academy, where he won 2 state championships. Now 3 years as a college football coach at UAB. Of course, Super Bowl 35 winning quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. It's a tall order for Dilfer's bunch today as they will kick to the Volunteers. This is the 6th meeting between the two schools, all of them coming here on Rocky Top, and Tennessee winning all 5 of the previous meetings. Of course, that 2010 meeting went to overtime and Vols outlasted the Blazers. And UAB will kick it to Peyton Lewis. DeLonga's kick goes out of bounds. No, it did go. It's a touchback. And Tennessee will get it at the 25-yard line. Joey Aguilar, a revelation so far. Throwing last week for 371 yards. He has 4 50-plus yard touchdown passes already this year. Over 900 yards passing on the season in what I believe will be his last year of college football.
Pending legislation or litigation.
And it's Bishop standing to his left, and you would think UT would run it quite a bit today. Deshaun gets the first carry of the game. For all the talk about the passing game, Peyton Lewis, Star Thomas, and Bishop have been terrific replacing Dylan Sampson in the first 3 weeks.
It's been by committee. They almost do it by series at the running back position.
And again, straight up the gut. That's a first down run out near the 40-yard line. That's 12 more for the sophomore from right here at Carnes High School in Knoxville. Out to the 40, always going quickly. First throw, Aguilar over the top, wide open in space, inside the 30-yard line. And it's Braylon Staley, the freshman from Aiken, South Carolina. 97 yards receiving last week. He gets 31 on that play.
And you can see Tennessee going quickly in their tempo offense.
Aguilar throws out quickly to the sideline and down the sideline inside the 15. Mike Matthews with the catch. There is a flag down back where near Matthews made that catch.
Holding. Offense, number 14. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
Braylon Staley caught that long pass, committing the foul. 10 penalties against UT last week in that Georgia win. By the way, Aguilar just went over 7,500 yards passing in his career with that completion to Staley.
The way this offense has been going this season, he will certainly pad those stats as it unfolds. Already in this first possession, Tennessee demonstrating what makes it so difficult to defend this offense.
On 1st and 18, pass out to the Tennessee bench down to the 25-yard line. Getting back at least some of that yardage is Staley. 12 of it, in fact.
Back-to-back plays. You just spit the ball out there to the sideline. You're moving the line of scrimmage, just a run extension.
Handoff goes to Bishop. Bishop breaking tackles, and he gets inside the 20 right near the first down marker. It is a first down. I was asking Coach Heupel on the field before the game, Stinch. I said, are Bishop and Lewis your bruisers and Thomas is your speed guy? He said, actually, they're all speed guys. Aguilar pumps over the quick top. Give me a break. How easy was that? Touchdown, Tennessee. West Brazel, 19 yards. It's not often that you're in shock at how wide open someone is as you're calling it. Brazel leads America with 6 touchdown catches. And here's Max Gilbert, a sophomore from Memphis. And it's 7-0. That quickly. The Vols go 75 yards and strike first. One of the most dynamic offenses and the very best in the first quarter in college football. You're watching the SEC on ESPN on a sweltering hot Saturday on Rocky Top. And the offense is as hot as the temperature. Joey Aguilar, 14 of 14 to start the game last week. Opens 4 of 4, 64 yards, and he throws another touchdown pass to Chris Brazel.
Spread it around to his top 3 targets on the perimeter. Braylon Staley showing up with a couple of catches. Obviously Brazel with the touchdown. Mike Matthews with a touch. But that was a clinic. That's what makes this offense so difficult to defend.
Turbyville kicks it over the head of Solomon Beebe.
personal foul targeting kicking team number 23. Number 23 is disqualified. The 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Tennessee.
That's Donald Lee that's called for targeting on UAB's punt, so Tennessee will have even better field position. Certainly wish we didn't have those issues during UAB's opening drive, and we'll show you the targeting penalty here. And as you see this penalty, Jalen McMurray made a couple of great tackles on that first defensive possession, and then a terrific open field tackle by Colton Hood to force UAB's 3 and out. And now the Vols have the ball at midfield on drive number 2. Aguilar quickly throws to Brazel at his sideline, and Chris goes down past the 40 for another Tennessee first down. What a start to the year for Brazel. Over 20 catches, over 400 yards receiving. Aguilar to throw, deep ball. He's got him down there, touchdown! That's Mike Matthews. Mike has more than doubled his production from last year. Already 2 catches in the game, and that one is a 39-yard touchdown catch.
The challenge that this offense poses to defense is formationally you put defenders on islands. We asked Joey Halsley, the offensive coordinator, is Mike Matthews more of a catch and run guy? He's like, oh no, he's a deep threat just like everybody else. And Aguilar just hung that ball up, let Matthews run underneath it.
The Vols are outscoring opponents 76-7 in the first quarter this year.
It's unreal, and they're just so proficient in the play-action passing game. 60% of their pass attempts coming into this one come off of play action. Makes it so hard. That one, it didn't matter. He could have just caught and thrown that football. Matthews is going to win a lot of one-on-ones.
And look, you can see it's a mismatch out there, and we thought it would be with Tennessee and UAB. But Tennessee did this to Georgia last week in the first quarter.
No question. You see the way Aguilar started a week ago versus Georgia. It didn't look that dissimilar, as you pointed out, Taylor. This offense is just so explosive, and it's the weapons more than anything else at receiver, the comfort that they have. Melissa talked about it. Chris Brazel, now he is that much more confident. He's not alone. Mike Matthews, same thing. Braylon Staley. These guys understand the intent of the offense, and you've got a guy in Aguilar who knows how to execute.
Knoxville's Josh Turbyville, the kickoff specialist. Again, over the head of BB and UAB back on offense. Again, the Blazers went 3 and out on the first drive. Colton Hood with a great open field tackle and a couple of tackles on that drive as well by Jalen McMurray. Tall order today for UAB and Trent Dilfer, the 53-year-old who, of course, won Super Bowl 35 with the Ravens, played 14 years in the NFL, and then he won state championships on the south side of Nashville for Lipscomb Academy and decided to try it at the collegiate level. 4-8 in 2023, 3-9 last year. This is his 3rd year at UAB, and they're off to a 2-1 start. Jacobs and Jackson in the backfield. Over the top, Kitna first completion goes to A.J. Johnson, and Johnson is up to 46. It's a pickup of 21. I did ask Coach Dilfer on the field, who's your big-time receiver today? Because Corey Milner is not playing. He's out with conduct detrimental to the team, and he said A.J. Johnson's our guy.
You see it already. Offensive play call, Alex Mortensen. Look at this formation.
Quick throw, line of scrimmage throw, but that goes the wrong direction. Busted up as they tried to get it to BB. Marion Dye on the tackle.
Here's Alex Mortensen, play caller for UAB, and they'll jump in these exotic formations. Steve Spurrier would do this back in the day, front and gun. Always makes defensive coordinators' jobs a little bit more challenging. Here it is again now. This is almost more like the swinging gate. Got that line of scrimmage down at the bottom of your screen where your offensive linemen are.
It's a loss of 5 on the play. This is wild. We're just turns and just a little toss by the center. Doesn't go through the legs. How often have you seen that? Brandon Hawkins on the catch there. Picks up the yardage that they lost and then some. 3rd and 8.
Wide receiver Caleb Brown. So he's over there. He's your center, snapping the ball. And as you pointed out, Taylor, got a sidearm in it. It's just something else. And obviously you're able to isolate your receiver at the top of the screen, able to get it up there to get more to 3rd and manageable.
This is more like it. I formation at least to start the play. Kitten up, nothing doing, and sack at the 45.
The challenge coming into this one was steep defensively, partly because Tennessee has been really good at pressuring passers. Come into this game, 12 sacks by the defense. That's first in the Southeastern Conference. You think about the players they lost. Pierce Jr. from a season ago, playing for the Atlanta Falcons, now first-round draft pick. They've been able to pick up kind of where they left off. It's been more of a community work, but they've affected passers throughout the season.
Marion Dye with a tackle for loss and a sack on that drive. The freshman from Indiana. Fair catch at the 10 by Boo Carter. 45-yard punt, no return, and Tennessee's electric offense is back on the field next.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Tennessee's offense has been phenomenal through the first 3+ games. It's extended into this game. And it's more impressive when you think about the fact that they're dealing with a few injuries. They start this drive at the 10-yard line. Aguilar will throw to Peyton Lewis out of the backfield, who drops it. 2nd down. Alyssa tells us that Ethan Davis and Desan Brame, the two tight ends that have been available throughout the season are not playing today. The tight end room is down a couple of guys. And of course, David Sanders hasn't played yet this year at right tackle. Is injured the week of the Syracuse game. Still waiting for him to make his debut. 2nd and 10 to the ground. It's Lewis. And he picks up 5, closer to 6, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, we haven't really seen this Tennessee football team at full strength all season long. Let that sink in. I mean, especially offensively, they played well, admirably even. Jesse Perry at right tackle, probably intended to be a guard this season. He's played well in Sanders' absence.
3rd and 4. Vols 58% on 3rd down. One of the best marks in all of college football. Aguilar, clean pocket, delivers a 1st down ball to Brazel.
You know, Taylor, you think about the way this offense works. You know, the first play, you hit Peyton Lewis out of the backfield. He's probably still running. Come right back down with a run and then a quick throw to the perimeter.
Aguilar loads up, down the field, incomplete. It was Matthews, but good coverage there by Delvin Gully.
Well, Gully doesn't panic, does a great job of splitting the receiver's hands. Deny that catch downfield. Gully from Saraland High School down there in Alabama, in those suburbs of Mobile. Showed some calm there, given what they've seen so far offensively.
2nd and 10. And back to the ground, it's Lewis. He gets a couple. It'll be 3rd and long for Josh Heupel's offense, leading the SEC in scoring offense, passing offense. They've scored at least 30 in 5 straight regular season games. It's his 5th year now in Knoxville, 39 and 16 record. Can go as quick as anyone when he wants. Slows it down for this 3rd and 8. Aguilar over the middle, 1st down ball past the 35, and that's big Miles Kitzelman. 2nd-year starter for the Vols, gets 11.
We asked who's the unsung hero of this offense. They were quick to say it's Miles Kitzelman, not just for his play on the field, but his leadership in the locker room.
Lewis, they fake it to him over the top. Off the deflection, it's picked off. It's Pierre Royster. UAB football. That's the first UAB interception of the season.
Every time you see a ball deflected in the air, especially towards the center of the field, offensively, you just hold your breath. Great job tracking it, Pierre Royster. That ball just floated up there as a helicopter. He just gets underneath it. You see the play action fake. Aguilar just trying to jam one in there, a little bit behind. Not that far off target, but more than enough to get that deflection. Great opportunity for UAB. Think about the incompletion on the first play. You get the pass breakup downfield. Now a quick change. Opportunity for the Blazer offense to do something in this possession.
That was Gully again. They got his hand in there to cause that deflection. So getting it back out there just shy of his own 40-yard line, and Jackson in the backfield. Excuse me, make that Isaiah Jacobs. Jacobs, senior from Tulsa. Javon Jackson, the senior from Decatur, Alabama. You'll see both of those backs featured today for Coach Dilfer. On 2nd and 9. Kitna rolls to his right and incomplete into the UAB bench. A.J. Johnson, the intended target. A flag comes down. Boo Carter was on Johnson there. It's Daniel Gotro, today's referee.
5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
An eligible man downfield on the Blazers.
Correction, Tennessee has declined the penalty. It'll be 3rd down.
UAB just trying to move the pocket. We talked about the ability of the Vols to affect the passer, collapse the pocket outside in, trying to get Kitten a chance to move it. That time just leaked downfield, ineligible. So the crowd plays a role. We saw last time the Vols able to get home with their pass rush.
Kitten off his back foot into the bench. His target, Xavier Daisy, was covered up by 2 volunteers. His 4th down.
Xavier Daisy's going to have to figure more prominently offensively because of the absence of Milliner. Just so hard. Really muddy pocket for Kitten at that time. Both edges collapsing in. As a passer, he just had to throw through that congestion well upfield.
Who can break one? He had a 40-yard return against ETSU a couple of weeks ago. He's back there at his own 20, waiting on this Foley punt. This is a returnable ball at the 21. Gets the corner and out of bounds in Blazer territory. 41-yard punt and a 35-yard return. Our Week 4 SEC football lineup continues at 4:15 Eastern with undefeated Mississippi State hosting Northern Illinois. Then third-ranked LSU hosts Southeastern Louisiana in Death Valley. And our bonus game is number 8 Texas hosting Sam Houston on SEC Network Plus. Each game also available on the new ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. From the 45, the Vol offense gets back to work, and there's Deshaun Bishop. It's a first down run. 19 yards for Bishop.
Tennessee just does such a good job to get downhill, to get pullers out in front to attack that defense vertically in the run game.
Aguilar wisely keeps it and stays upright, takes a hit at the 21 by Pierre Royster. Royster still down on the ground. Of course, Pierre had that
timeout
interception just a moment ago.
Defensive player.
Aguilar, we talk about his arm. Use it as a stiff arm too, not just as a passer. Look at that off arm. Then grab the face mask, a little visor massage. Let me wipe that off for you. It's tripped up there. He doesn't run a ton. Right? It was a good read, as you pointed out, Taylor, that they charged the mesh between he and the ball carrier, pulls it. Just able to make a little bit of something out of what was otherwise going to be a difficult play.
He is 10 yards away from 500 in his career for rushing, so he can escape when he wants. 29th career start. Broke 3 Appalachian State records 2 years ago. Touchdown passes, passing yards, and total yards.
Well, the story about him I thought that stood out the most in talking to the coaches was when they said, you know, he got here and he took the offensive lineman to a dinner. Well, that's just smart. But then he invited...
Speaking from experience.
Yeah, you should do that as often as possible. But he invited the other quarterbacks, too. They were in a competition.
The 21 over the top. Good ball inside the 5. It's Kitzelman again.
You just think about it. You got the wide outs. You got the ground game. You got Aguilar in the decision making. Now add in the tight end.
And it's down to the 3 for Bishop, where Odinger makes the tackle. The Vols are 18 of 19 in the red zone this year with 15 touchdowns.
By the time you get down there, you rock back on your heels.
At the goal line, touchdown, Deshaun Bishop. Just waiting to confirm that that was a touchdown. Bishop's knee hit down right near the goal line, so they're taking a look up here. Chris Rape is today's replay official. I do like Chris is tied today, too. He's got the stripes to support
sharp.
the officials.
I like it so much. It's the boardroom version.
Chris says it is a touchdown. Tennessee's turned it over once, and they lead 21-0 almost 11 minutes into the game.
Pretty efficient start. How's that for an understatement? Get behind, see Kitzelman in that offensive front. Jesse Perry at right tackle. Looks like he's sunning himself in the checkerboard end zone after that run. Just gets rolled up. Penalty flag after the point after.
The result of the try is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 1. The 15-yard penalty will be added to the kickoff.
Rod Bryant, the Georgia Tech transfer, some frustration on top of what's happening on defense.
Well, it's been, as we just observed, it's been a clinic reel in a lot of ways. You talk about the turnover, of course, off of the deflection.
Number 17 for UAB is now wearing number 91.
Oh, it's Bush.
What is that about?
He's over there cleaning the kicker. Not only Bush League, but just stupid. I mean, right there in front of him. I don't know why. Surprised it wasn't subject to even ejection. Walk over there and stomp on a kicker's foot.
This, of course, the other kicker for UT, Josh Turbyville, who kicks off. And he'll squib it. BB from the 2. He's dangerous, but there are flags down as he's pushed into the Blazer bench. Pushed into the bench, by the way, by Turbyville, the kicker.
During the return, holding, number 10 of the receiving team. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down, UAB.
It is hot down there as Coach Dilfer is dealing with the humidity. That's the thing today. The temperature's in the low 80s, but the humidity is extremely high, unseasonably high for this time of year. And I think all of us are excited about fall temperatures in the weeks to come.
Can't get here fast enough, that's for sure. And UAB right now, defensively, struggling mightily, obviously. But they got to rein it in. Right? You're looking at these penalties. Some of these penalties that are piling up. Some of them are effort penalties, you can call them, and then others are just stupid, selfish penalties. You can't allow that to get to you.
Starting this drive from their own 8. Kitna at his goal line swings it out to Jacobs. Isaiah's up until he gets to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on first down, 2nd and 3.
Crucial to get that first down, and you're coming out offensive. You're backed up, starting out this possession inside your own 10. It's a good starter to this possession to try to pick up that first down, at least try to regain some field position.
Jacobs out. Jackson is in, and he will now join Kitna in the backfield. Javon, extra effort with help from an offensive lineman, gets a yard. And the tackle goes to Joshua Josephs. He's been in the backfield a bunch every week for the Vols so far this season.
Just really active, one of those guys, we talked about it. The way that this front has played, spent a lot of time in opposing teams' offensive backfields. See if UAB can hold up in protection on a 3rd and short.
Toss ahead, and a first down to Caleb Brown on the little trickeration there, to Brandon Hawkins. Hawkins, the senior.
See the misdirection, get a couple of pullers out in front, flank the defense, wisely getting on the perimeter. There's been very little to no rushing room. inside the interior of the Blazer offensive front. Alex Mortensen able to find a way to get that ball outside and able to get a conversion.
6 of 9 as flags fly. Getting a 6 of 9 and
False start. Offense. Not all 11 players came set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And Kitten has found 6 different receivers to complete all 6 of those passes. You know, UAB has recruited some top-level talent. And in fact, Coach Dilfer was telling us in the 3 years he's been there, he has 14 kids that have gone on to play Power 4 football. But the hard thing now for a group of 5 team, Stinch, is you don't want to be a feeder team.
Right.
You know, you don't want to be seen as a AAA baseball team. And more flags on the Blazers.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
The key for an American Conference team or any group of 5 team is how do you keep your best players on campus? I mean, Chris Brazel is a great example of that, right? He used to play in this conference for Tulane, and now he's starring in the SEC.
That's the difficulty that you have. We talk to teams. You say you want our guys to play well. You just don't want them to play too well. That's around they get poached.
The way back inside the 10, Kitten trying to stay upright. Nice grab at the 14 by Jacobs. Makes something out of nothing there, gets 4 yards. Joseph was in the backfield on Kitten pressuring Jalen.
This is a couple of athletic plays by your quarterback to evade the rush by Jacobs to make this catch, only to try to eat into the deficit, the yardage deficit, due to the procedure penalties.
And now 2nd and 16, underneath throw. And Hawkins back near the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down.
You see Alex Mortensen saying, look, I'm just going to try to get the ball out quickly, leaning heavily on the screen game. Got that ball out over the perimeter on a 3rd and short. Not an opportunity for that here. An obvious passing down. Not where you want to be, especially when this crowd, with another sellout, is able to engage. The loudest place, the loudest, got to be the loudest place to play in all of college football.
Just marvel at how good the atmosphere is here week after week, year after year. Blazers will have time to think about this 3rd down after a terrific first frame by the University of Tennessee.
Got Coach when y'all are ready.
On a hot Saturday in Knoxville, we start the second quarter as you watch the SEC on ESPN. 21-0 Volunteers, already over 200 yards of offense. Blazers on third down. On a little screen. Just near the first down marker goes Javon Jackson. It's going to be close to the first. Just before that play, Alyssa spoke to Coach Dilfer.
Coach, what are you telling your guys to gain some momentum here?
Just keep playing hard. You know, we knew we were in for a tough battle now, so we got to keep playing hard, loving the battle, doing our best, competing to the very end.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
You can tell he knew today would be a tough one. But it is. It's about competing in a long season. In the American Conference, already 2 wins on the year. This is Patrick Foley's 4th punt. Goes away from Carter. Takes a Tennessee bounce. Just a 33-yard punt, and Vols are back on offense.
We've seen all game really, where Tennessee came into this game, and we talked about it in the open, despite what happened a week ago, ton of momentum within this program, picked right up where they left off, outside of that interception off a deflection, which incidentally, 2 of the 3 picks Aguilar has thrown, you could argue, aren't really on him. Last week it was a receiver that slipped down, what was otherwise going to be a big completion, and then the deflection today.
Fake to start Thomas, throws it out to Brazel, and he gets a couple of yards, tackled by a trio of Blazers. Stinch, I was asking Coach Heupel, who's your best tailback? And he said, yes. Peyton Lewis, Star Thomas, Deshaun Bishop, DeJuan Morris. We'll see him today, I'm sure. Aguilar somehow gets away and gets the ball out for a first down into Blazer territory. Mike Matthews for 12 yards. How about Joey Aguilar?
Outstanding escapability, pressure right up the middle. A little confusion, it looked like, at center with Sam Pendleton. I think he thought his left guard was going to be sliding with him. Great job getting upfield and affecting the passer, but Aguilar still able to get the ball downfield.
This guy has been everything Volunteer fans wanted the first 4 games. And he keeps it here. And he's down near the 35-yard line. He's a grown man. He's 24 years old. But, Nico Iamaleava leaves the program. In essence, it was a trade. Aguilar, who was briefly at UCLA, comes in. You don't know what you're getting. Now he's going to take a shot to the end zone again. Incomplete. Matthews had a hand on it, but Tariq Watson was running with him.
You could see, you're just able to throw haymakers. Look at this, almost a tip drill to yourself. Watson didn't really get his head around on this one. Look at his left hand, able just enough to disrupt that reception by Matthews, who couldn't quite track it in. He's listed at 6'1". He plays longer than that, does Matthews. Big catch radius for his frame.
Straight ahead running for Starr. Thomas breaks it. And the Volunteers are back in the red zone, 21 more. Thomas, also a 6th-year senior, and is coming over from Duke. Has over 2,200 yards career rushing.
What's impressive to me, Taylor, not just the patient running that we see, but the yards after contact by these runners.
Thomas stays upright and gets down near the 11. Sarad Bryant on the tackle.
See Thomas, back-to-back carries, able to run through that first would-be tackle coming into this game. Deshaun Bishop leads the conference in yards after contact, 5.5 yards that he's picking up per carry. Just does a great job of running through defenders.
On 2nd and 7, Thomas right near another first down at the 6-yard line. A.J. Brown on the tackle.
So you think you take a shot downfield, you're not able to corral it And so here in the red zone, you say, fine, maybe we just hammer our way in. You see that heavy backfield formation.
Stars hit, breaks it. 1st and goal, or make that 2nd and that was 3rd and 1. Now this is 1st and goal. Amari Morrison had Thomas in the backfield too.
That's pretty incredible right there. Great awareness. You talk about backs that have vision. Some of them can just feel it. Tom Morrison in the backfield quickly. Thomas able to just spin right out of the tackle.
1st and goal for the Vols, going slowly here.
It's like a reverse sugar huddle. They were lined up, and they turned around and huddled up, talked about it for a second.
Thomas pushed to the 1. Big orange, big offensive lineman. Lance Hurd, Wendell Moy, Sam Pendleton, Jesse Perry, and Sham Umarov have been outstanding so far this year.
That left side also not as intended. Another big backfield set.
On 2nd and goal, let him finish it off. Star Thomas all the way in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Ten plays, 60 yards, taking over 3 minutes for the Volunteers' 4th touchdown. Star Thomas is a senior from Homer, Louisiana, Coffeyville Community College, New Mexico State, Duke, and now the University of Tennessee. PB, we expected a shootout in that one. Taylon Green Good luck tackling him.
Yeah.
Turbyville puts his right foot in it, and the Blazers will get it at the 25. Vols have gone over 100 passing and 100 rushing yards here, and not even the midway mark of the second quarter.
You think about that last possession ending in a touchdown. They took a shot downfield to Mike Matthews, come up empty, and they said, all right, forget it. We're just going to pile drive this thing in there. A couple of heavy formations, 2 tight end sets, and just turned it into an inside run period. Ran it right down the field in that red zone, able to finally get it in the end zone. UAB just searching for answers on offense, trying to find a way to just maintain a possession. See if you can't flip the field, make them go the long way.
Kitna hands it to BB, and Solomon up 4 to the 29-yard line. Coach Dilfer was talking about next week's game against Army. Already played Navy. Got to play Army again next week, then at FAU, and hosting Memphis in a few weeks as they get into the meat of their Sun Belt schedule. And they certainly have a good quarterback to handle all of that. And Kitna, an empty backfield here, 2nd and 6.
Wow.
Nice catch on the ground by the Blazers, Xavier Daisy.
What an effort by Xavier Daisy right here. He slips down. It kind of reminds you of what happened with Staley. Look at this. That's fantastic concentration. He was already on the ground, able to twist around and make that catch. And Kitna able to throw the football a little bit under duress. There was pressure in his face from the inside of the offensive front. Obviously a Vol defender injured on the play. It looks like McMurray.
You don't want to see that because Ricky Gibson, Jermod McCoy, Davin Hobbs, they're all injured. Tyree West and Jackson Moy just being held as they're banged up today. But McMurray has been terrific. 3 years at Temple, 2nd year here.
Good to see him pop up. Good to see that positive play to pick up a first down by Xavier Daisy. Guy they're expecting to step up and be more prominent in that UAB offense. Norcross, Georgia, Greater Atlanta Christian School product. One of those guys that could potentially be a run after the catch kind of guy, but he's got to be able to stay up. Great effort that time, though, just slipping on the Neyland turf here to make that catch.
Almost caught and then almost intercepted. Evan McCray, it was off his hands. It could have gone straight to a volunteer, but it's 2nd down. Tim Banks' defense has been stout so far. There he is, and this is his 30th straight year coaching college football. His 5th season as the defensive coordinator for the Vols. Was at Penn State, Illinois, and Cincinnati before that in the same role. His team plays hard, and they're playing almost 30 guys so far this year on defense.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
I know you enjoyed talking to Tim yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just a guy that's been able to put together a really good defense. It's opposite an offense that many people thought and have said historically when you're opposite these tempo offenses, it's hard to put together a unit that holds up. But they like their depth. When healthy, they like their depth on that side.
That's incomplete. Good coverage there by Ty Redmond, the freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia. Had to start immediately this season due to injury.
Great break on the ball. Really well played by Redmond. A guy that's seen a lot more action. They know where to go. Young guy out there, as you mentioned. True freshman forced into service. He's kind of on-the-job training. Tim Banks has said that these young guys have stepped up. They've done a good job in the absence of the Ricky Gibsons and Jermod McCoys. so far this season in that Volunteer secondary.
Blazers are just 1 for 5 on third. This is 3rd and 15. Kitna presses it down there. That's a first down ball into UT territory. Iverson hooks on the catch.
Confusion that time. Completed that in front of Caleb Beasley, incidentally, one of Trent Dilfer's old charges when he was at Lipscomb High School. You see their eyes on the inside underneath Luke Carter and Caleb Beasley. A little bit turned around in their coverage responsibilities.
22 yards on the play. Kitna tries the other side. This is a good ball inside the 40. Near another first down. It's J.C. Sibley, big tight end.
By far the most rhythm we've seen from the Blazer offense all afternoon. Ignited by that Xavier Daisy catch. Back-to-back downfield throws for Jalen Kitna. So UAB, they feel as if you can afford him time as a passer, they love Kitna's skill set.
8-yard completion to Sibley. It's 2nd and 2. That's Jackson next to Kitna, helping with protection. Another first down ball to the 30 to McCray. 8 more.
You can see the conversation in the Volunteer secondary. Trying to figure out again, the corner that time dropped off. Left all alone, wide open passes now. 3 straight completions for Kitna.
I think it was a 3rd and 15 that helped UAB. They're able to convert to help them get into this position down to the Volunteer 30. Facing pressure, and he overshoots his intended target, Jackson, because of that pressure.
Just falling backwards, couldn't get enough on that ball. Had an opportunity if he could drop it up and over. But you could see right now pressure almost immediately, able to get around Brandon Snee at left tackle and in the face of Kitna, and just had to hang it up.
Kitna incomplete. Tried to get the back shoulder ball there to Daisy. 3rd down.
At that time, that ball just too far upfield for Daisy. You nailed it, Taylor. Just trying to catch him on the back shoulder. Hood was in phase. He was hip to hip with Daisy. Back shoulder's the throw. Just a little too far upfield for Daisy to rally to it. Now a 3rd and long, and as you mentioned, in another unique formation, you see split the line of scrimmage. Offensive lineman to the bottom of your screen over the numbers.
Kitna first down inside the 20. Hawkins, touchdown.
Well, the Vols knew that these aren't just gimmick. They're not going to line up and see what you do. They're going to run plays out of it, and clearly confusion multiple times really on this drive in the Volunteer secondary. Of course, part of what's happened with those formations, make that defense defend something unorthodox. 4th play we've seen.
Jonah DeLonga's extra point is good. A 3rd and 15 and a 3rd and 10 converted. The Blazers don't have Corey Milliner today. They're finding other top targets like Brandon Hawkins, and they score. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. 101,915 die-hard Big Orange fans here in Neyland Stadium today, watching the Vols take on the UAB Blazers. Tennessee did not fall in the rankings after a home loss last week. And certainly if you watch the game, you understand why. This is a team that many feel is an SEC championship game contender.
And the more you watch last week's game, the more you like this Tennessee football team. You don't like the result if you're a Tennessee fan or player, coach, but you got to be thrilled with the way this team has performed so far this season. Its best football still in front of it.
Joey Aguilar will come out and bring the offense to the 25-yard line. He started his career at City College of San Francisco. He doesn't even have any pictures of him being there, though. Then he went and moved on after that to Diablo Valley Junior College and played there for a couple of years. Appalachian State. He was in spring with UCLA. And then after Nico Iamaleava said, I want to go to UCLA, he said, okay, fine, I'll come to Tennessee. All Vols fans are happy with how that turned out. Aguilar taking pressure, and it's thrown just a bit behind Braylon Staley. I bet he would say he should have caught it. Flag down.
Yeah, he'll say he should have caught it. I'll say he should have caught it too.
Offense, number 3 and number 17 were in motion and never came set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Now it doesn't matter due to the penalty, but you know, this is the 4th straight year the Vols have had a new quarterback. They had Hendon Hooker, that great season of 2022. Joe Milton throwing the ball a mile 2 years ago. Nico last year. And now Aguilar here in 2025. That's not easy to deal with when you have a new quarterback every year, yet gosh, he's played like he's been here forever.
He really has. And he just kind of plugged right in. That's one of the things that the coaches coveted too, is a smart football player. Picked up the offense very quickly.
Aguilar wisely keeps it, last second throws it. There are more flags on the field.
And even more flags. One that came in later. Secondary to the first. I think we might get a hold on the first one. Not sure on that second flag that came out. That's like the new version of triple option football. You can give it, pull it and run, or flip it out there on the edge.
Would be Staley's 3rd catch.
There are 3 fouls on the play, all of them against the offense. Block in the back, offense, number 72. That penalty is declined. Ineligible player, offense, that penalty is also declined. Holding, offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains first down.
I was wondering if Mr. Gautreaux was going to be able to remember everyone's numbers, and he wisely just went with the penalty and the second penalty there.
Busy down from my man Jesse Perry.
Yeah, a couple of them on Jesse.
So he was downfield, they're saying. Then he held, and then he blocked him in the back. That is the turkey. Maybe, I guess, if he had a false start in there as well. I'm not sure he was that far downfield.
Aguilar swings it out to the sideline. And Staley stays upright until he gets to the 17-yard line. They would like Jesse Perry to start at right guard.
Yeah.
He's been playing right tackle the first 4 weeks with David Sanders, that great freshman from Charlotte. He's been injured, and maybe next week against Mississippi State, there's a spin by Lewis.
I'll tell you, I mean, Jesse Perry's played admirably at right tackle. I mean, he's done a really good job. Penalties just most recently notwithstanding. He's done a good job filling in at right tackle. Free play probably, yeah.
Yep. Take a shot, why not? Too far in front of Mr. Brazel. Well, there are more flags down there too, so I think they'll take the penalty that was a hold on UAB.
Might be a sideline interference You see those deep balls, that side judge, that white area is supposed to be his runway. Oh, they're going to say pass interference on the defense.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both of them against the defense. Offsides, defense number 55 in the neutral zone at the snap. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense number 18. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
It's Gully who was running with Brazel.
So take a look, top of your screen. There's Gully and Brazel. We talk about it a lot of times. You're going to be isolated. You're on an island. He just shoves them out of bounds. See the flag come out on a free play. That's why you take that shot down there.
Let's see if we can only have one penalty on this play.
One at a time, guys.
Aguilar won out another one. Incomplete. Brazel and Tariq Watson. And Watson wins that battle.
This time, a little bit of hand fighting there, but just enough. See that swipe with his inside arm by Watson. Just enough to disrupt the vision of Brazel. And one of the things coming into this game, Taylor, that people have admired watching Aguilar, not just his decision making, but he was 70% on his throws, 20 yards or more downfield. Air yards, not run after catch type throws.
Aguilar, incomplete. Braylon Staley, the intended target, and that's Perry Fisher on the coverage.
Ball faithful want a PI. Thought he was a little bit early. You see that sometimes on those in-breaking routes. Tight coverage by Fisher, and quick over the ball. Couldn't look at it really.
3rd and 10. Aguilar. That's caught right near the sticks by Travis Smith, the big freshman from Atlanta.
He's one of those guys, talking to the coaches, they said, look, he's a true freshman. He's got an SEC body. 6'3", 210 pounds.
I was hitting you on the field earlier, like, just watch this guy. He looks like the next great Volunteer receiver. He is just short of the first, though. It's going to be 4th down. It's the first 4th down the Vols have had all season. And it's a first down run by Peyton Lewis. Peyton scored the first touchdown of the season in Atlanta against Syracuse, had another versus East Tennessee State. One of those 3 backs that the Vols feature, at least in the first half. Should see DeJuan Morris and Justin Baker a little later on. Lewis inside the 45.
Yeah, just the mainstay, what you see repeatedly out of these backs, receivers too, but you see in the ground game is how they're able to break through, either avoid or run through that first tackler. I mean, their downhill running skill has really shown up. You watch them in any of these games, very rarely do they get tackled to the ground when that first defender arrives. And they're leaning forward. It's another 3 or 4 yards.
And due to all these options you're talking about, it makes you think UT has a chance to make a big splash this season. And I stress for Alyssa Lang having to rank the teams in the Southeastern Conference each week.
She nailed it, though.
You should stress, because I'm stressed. I lose hours of sleep over doing that. I have Tennessee at number 2 in the conference.
I get it. 3rd and 1. Lewis gets the first down here. Did you think that going into the year, Alyssa? Did you think Texas, LSU, Georgia were kind of in a class by themselves, and have you added a few to that list?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was in the same boat as a lot of folks when we looked at this Tennessee team last year, a playoff team, and the amount of talent they lost. Dylan Sampson alone, how do you replace that type of production? They've done that and some.
Lewis, he runs it down near the 30, and how could you have known Aguilar was going to be this good now that he has SEC receivers, an SEC offensive line, and a collection of backs? he's turned into an SEC quarterback.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things they said from the meetings, guys, yesterday was the fact that Josh Heupel knew so many new pieces, a tumultuous offseason. The team needs to buy in. So maybe the quarterback competition went a little bit longer than the general public would have anticipated. Heupel said, I wanted the team to see Joey Aguilar win this job.
11th play of the drive, nearly 5 minutes. Aguilar doesn't like what he sees down the field. And is caught but out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down. And Coach Heupel was raving about Aguilar's leadership. I asked him about how is he Monday to Friday, and he said at least as good on Saturday.
Yeah, I liked it what he said, where he said he gets the position. And when you hear Coach, what he was talking about was not, hey, you know, he knows how to read a defense, or should I run it or pull it or throw it. It's the role that you automatically play as a quarterback. You're a leader whether you have that type of personality or not because of the position. And Aguilar gets that and embraced it early on.
That was Dotson, the freshman from Memphis, that did get his arms on the ball, but was out of bounds. And the Vols will take some time to think about
Tennessee.
this 3rd down and 4 up 28-7.
Tonight, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. The world will be watching. Stream WrestlePalooza on the ESPN app tonight.
It's hot in Knoxville. Shirts are optional, evidently. It's 3rd and 4 for the Vols at the UAB 32. Joey Aguilar trying to move the chains again. Option play. There's the toss. There's the first down. There is the touchdown. Peyton Lewis. ...32 yards for the sophomore.
And you think UAB, they've seen option offense, right? I think they've seen Navy. They're going to be playing Army next. A little preview action from Tennessee now. Fantastic celebration by Peyton Lewis.
They use him in short yardage situations, but we see the track star speed there too. It's 35-7.
It's a lefty pitch by Aguilar. Watch it. Nice. Okay. Good blocking out there on the edge. And as you said, Peyton Lewis, 215 pounds. He's a big one. Finds his way into the checkerboard.
He's probably getting jealous.
Yeah.
Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas already had touchdowns in the game.
Yeah.
Now he has one too.
Get it in where you can fit it in, pal. How about a little option action?
Number 17 for UAB is now wearing 91.
Number 15 Volunteers looking to get to 3-1 after this one. They're at Mississippi State next Saturday on SEC Network. At Alabama in the middle of October. Sooners are coming here at the beginning of November. And watch out for them Vanderbilt Commodores who come here to close the season. Speaking of all these SEC teams, our lineup continues after we're done. Our buddy Dave Neal and team are in position at 4:15 with Mississippi State hosting NIU. Then number 3, LSU hosts Southeastern Louisiana in Death Valley. Bonus game, number 8, Texas hosts Sam Houston on SEC Network Plus. All of those are on the ESPN app. How about Jackson Arnold going back to Norman, Oklahoma today? Auburn Tigers, Oklahoma Sooners, that's on ABC at 3:30.
Yeah, you know, we saw Auburn last week. Auburn defensively got to tighten some things up for sure. South Alabama moves the football up and down the field in Jordan-Hare. Jackson Arnold last year in that Oklahoma Sooner jersey.
Kitna. Brandon Hawkins actually loses a yard on the play, but Kitna sure looked impressive on that last drive. Only 42 total yards in the first 4 drives, and a couple of huge third down throws by Kitna, who's coming out of the game here, at least for this play. Nate Rogers is checked in. He's a running back from Wetumpka, Alabama, running the Wildcat. He's got speed too, look at that. Getting past the 30. Outrunning those guys that were pressuring him in the backfield.
It was literally just, let's snap it to this guy. He's fast.
Right.
Make somebody miss.
I mean, Jalen McMurray and Bryson Eason were
This
all
is
over him there.
the 2-minute timeout.
Third down for the Blazers when we come back. Third down here for the Blazers. They've been terrific the last couple of times they've been in this situation. Difference is this is only 3rd and 3. That was 3rd and 10 plus the last two. Kitna presses it down the field, incomplete. Wanted Daisy. Good coverage there, Jalen McMurray.
He's kind of turned Daisy around a little bit. They're staying out there on the field, it looks like. It's UAB. Talk about excellent field position. If they're not able to get something done, you almost wonder if Kitna's got it in his bag of tricks.
This is no surprise if you watch UAB, though. They go for it everywhere. Here comes Coach Dilfer to call timeout, though.
Timeout, UAB. It is their first. It will be 30 seconds.
Almost wondered if they were going to maybe set up a quick kick. Didn't look like it formationally.
Just saw the crew in the studio tonight after the LSU Southeastern Louisiana game. Football final with Dari, Chris, and Benjamin, taking you through all the stories of the day. Who are you picking in that game with OU and Auburn?
I like OU. I like the way OU's been playing all season, you know, that especially given the way Auburn struggled last week, especially with the tackling. Didn't tackle great week 1 versus Baylor. They did much better versus Ball State, but Ball State is going to struggle this season. Oklahoma, Mateer at quarterback, and they haven't been what we thought they were going to be necessarily. Running back especially, I don't know that it's mattered.
Here, that was not a timeout to, okay, we were trying to draw them on sides. No, let's just figure out how UAB is going to convert this. They're 3 of 7 on 4th. This from their own 32. Kitna rolls against his body, and he's short by a couple of yards. Bryson Eason on the tackle. Tennessee football.
Just nowhere to go with the football. Really well defended by Tennessee. They tried to get the balls to lean towards the short side of the field. We'll watch the motion come opposite where they end up rolling to the left. The balls don't really bite that hard. Where are you going to go with this football? Nowhere. Good job by Eason. Forcing Kitna back upfield. Well-schooled unit by Tim Banks, who must sleep in a hyperbaric chamber. There's no way that guy's been coaching college football for 30 years.
He looks great, he does. Deshaun Bishop on the run. Coach Banks is in his early 50s. You would never know it. He's kept himself in good condition. Balls go quickly here. Just 2 timeouts left, 90 seconds and a half. Oh, ball drops and Aguilar dives on it. Exchange issue with Bishop there.
Looked like he was trying to give. That was a give to Bishop, and just the ball ended up getting hung on Bishop's hip. Almost gave the ball back to the Blazers.
3rd and 6. Tennessee's 6 of 7 on 3rd down today. And they'll run it. And he gets no flag as a reach for Bishop's headgear. Eamon Smalls, I think he got it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 99. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run, first down.
We talked about how physical these volunteer rushers are. UAB's just, look, grabbing for anything, hanging on. That was a grab and tug. Spun his head around. I'd be surprised if Tennessee isn't content to try to continue to run this football in, similar to an earlier possession in the red zone.
Tennessee scoring touchdowns in the red zone. The Blazers are giving them up. Aguilar has all day. Incomplete. There's the flag. Miles Kitzelman was draped.
I've been impressed with number 87 for Tennessee.
Pass interference, defense number 11. By rule, the foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line, first down.
Big target in Kitzelman. You can see the grab. He's holding his outside arm. Easy call. by the official.
He eats a Snickers before every game. Did you do that?
A bag of them. But I was a lot bigger. He's still a big guy, but he's eating more than one Snickers, that's for sure. If that tie him over, he probably fires down a couple more at halftime. It's a big dude.
You ate a bag of them. How easy is that for Deshaun Bishop? Perfect and extra points. Tennessee has had 8 60-point games under Heupel and they're headed towards a 9th.
Look at that hole. Everybody covered up. Great job up front. Well, nice double teams. You know, that buckskin suit, that's got to be hot.
Heavy.
He's got to be sweating through his moccasins.
No doubt. ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week. Each year to celebrate great teachers across the country who have inspired so many of us. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. Let's salute maybe the star of the Lang Sycamore wedding, Alyssa.
Yeah, my Uncle Eric, who, if you know him, you know he's the star of any Lang family function. He was a Shamu trainer, literally jumped off of killer whales at SeaWorld. Now he is an earth science teacher down in Orlando. So shout out to my Uncle Eric.
And isn't his wife a giraffe trainer?
Yeah, well, a big animal family, the Langs.
What does the giraffe do once trained?
I think it eats, which, okay. I mean, goals, honestly.
Got it. I love that. I love a well-trained giraffe.
They are an interesting duo, to say the least, and they definitely meddled at the wedding, as did Trevor's aunt. She did, too.
Everybody loves Matt Stinchcomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut a rug, man. Get out there. Do-si-do. Promenade with your partner.
We do have photos of that. You can check all of that out on Alyssa's Instagram. Okay, back to the game. 32 seconds to go in the half. Jalen Kitna has thrown for 120 yards and a touchdown. Good ball past the 30 to Hawkins, who had the touchdown catch.
See, UAB that was able to settle into that rhythm. 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. A little bit of confusion on this possession. They get lined up correctly.
Getting another good ball to the 45. As Daisy makes the catch.
Helmet popped off. At the end of that one, has to sub out because of it.
Timeout UAB.
Timeout UAB. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Couple nice catches by Daisy. One of the big ones was to get that last drive kind of ignited. They call that timeout. See if they can't try to capitalize on one more play here in the half.
Coming up at halftime, you can catch the live performance of the Pride of the Southland Band on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. It's just one of the things that makes the Southeastern Conference and college football so special. Come into this facility and hear that band. Last week, this place was rocking. It'll be rocking again when Oklahoma comes here, when Vanderbilt is here later in the season.
Cruz Farms was rocking last night.
Boy, it was. Line out the door. That whole Market Street area is just terrific here. Last play of the half. Kitna facing pressure, down he goes. Back at the 35, Jalen McMurray ends the half with a sack.
It's been that kind of first half for UAB. They had a bright spot with the 10-play drive, but otherwise there has not been much opportunity versus this ball defense. Kitna under duress, ends up wrapped up, just trying to see if they could push it downfield offensively. Behind the direction of that man, Aguilar. Great first half for the offense.
Alyssa's with Josh Heupel.
Coach, that drive you had about the 7-minute mark in the second quarter, a couple of penalties on that down, but you end the drive with a touchdown. How would you evaluate your team in this first half?
Yeah, one of them definitely what they call on the wide receiver, end of the day overcame that. Both sides of the football, special teams, there's some things we control that we need to clean up here in the second half.
What's your plan for Joey and some of the other starters in the second half?
Let's go start fast here in the third quarter.
Thanks, Coach.
42-7, UAB does get the ball to start the second half. Peter, Chris, and Benjamin are catching you up on everything that's happening back in the studio.
that hot dog really hit the spot. God, look at that shot, would you? Look at all those fans that aren't here anymore. I wonder why they left.
Yeah.
Should be a really compelling contest here in the second half.
Can we call it remotely?
Hey, can we have technical difficulties again? We'll just say, hey, listen, you know what? We're going to allocate this satellite to other purposes, like cell phone usage. I don't know.
You're watching SEC College Football presented by Allstate, one of the beautiful backdrops in sports. On the river, right outside this beautiful backdrop. And what a first half by the Tennessee Volunteers. That's Matt Stinchcomb. I'm Taylor Zarzer. Alyssa Lang is on the field. Josh Heupel's one of the best at calling offense, and he has players in 2025 to execute it.
Yeah, I mean, outside of a deflected pass, interception, this offense has just been clicking in just about every element that you would want it to. The downfield running game, or passing game rather, the downhill running game. I mean, both elements complementing the other. You look at the way they were able to spread the football around in the first half. You got to be thrilled with the way the offense performed through the first two quarters. We talk about the downhill running game, and the fact that they're able to get that established opens up the play-action passing. There's run extension throws to playmakers like a Mike Matthews, who can get the ball downfield. Oh, yeah. And then you can run that bluff screen. This is all on the very first series of the game. But defensively, you see the entire gamut, the entire arsenal of this offense.
That is today's Capital One rewarding performance. That was Grady Dangerfield, who's now kicking off with the balls as UAB gets the ball first here in the second half. It's the sixth time under Josh Heupel that the Vols have scored 40-plus in the first half.
It's just such an explosive offense. In fact, you know, I think its biggest difficulty is slowing down. I mean, it's shortening games. Now, they do run the football. We talked about that right off the top. This is not just a passing offense. In fact, it's a run-oriented offense. But they pile up yards so quickly, it's oftentimes explosively, that it's hard to slow down from the scoring and the yardage.
Jayla Kitna pumps, throws, incomplete to Solomon Beebe. Let's toss it to Alyssa.
Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, when it comes to the second half, we'll see what UAB comes out here with. But Coach Dilfer told us this week that he was very straight up with his guys as far as this being an opportunity. If you're serious about wanting to go to the NFL, this is the game that the scouts are going to turn on first. And if they don't like what they see from your tape against Tennessee, they're not going to watch any other one. So a lot on the line still for these guys.
2nd and 10. Kitna drifts back, hit as he throws. Underneath, it's caught to Jackson. And he's just short of the marker, picking up 8, 3rd and 2.
That's a good point. I mean, obviously there's quite a bit of talent on that Tennessee side. You might be watching for a Tennessee player and you're going to pick up eyes on the opposition. You know, UAB in this instance. 3rd down has been a challenge for UAB all afternoon. They were able to convert 2 on their touchdown drive in the second quarter.
Jeremiah Thielander on that last tackle. There were 4 receivers at the top of your screen, but now Jackson comes to the backfield. And he takes it and he won't get it. Dominic Bailey, Big Dom, having to play inside due to injuries. He's been great in there, 4th down.
He really has. He's got the frame to do it. 292 pounds, a guy that really on the edge. He looks more odd to me playing outside than he does inside just because of his size. His ability to flex inside's really helped because no Jackson boy no Hobbs on the inside. That versatility has proven to come in handy for the Vols.
Patrick Foley's 5th punt. Boo Carter drops it, muffed it, UAB football.
Carter he looked really casual fielding that punt.
A.J. Brown jumping on it.
Great job by A.J. Brown. You know, Josh Heupel told Alyssa going in, he was like, Coach Heupel's like, look, you want to come out and start fast in the 3rd quarter. This is what you're looking for. Boo Carter, guy had some off-field issues during the off-season. Trying to work his way back in. He's in there as a punt returner. Bad decision. A great opportunity for UAB here.
Are winning the turnover battle. Jackson, a couple. Up near the 28. Arian Carter, big junior from Smyrna, leads the SEC in tackles, was there again.
So active. You know, we talk about leaders. Why is this defense different? We talk about how connected they feel. Arian Carter, he's the guy that keeps that side of the locker room in line defensively.
Fake the handoff. Nice catch is made by Jackson out of the backfield, but not much to show for it. 3rd down.
Man, that really was an acrobatic catch. Great awareness, too, to end up not taking a huge hit. Regardless, after the sudden change, Vol defense responding quickly to force a 3rd and passing down here. You got to think if you're UAB, that you're thinking 4 downs, obviously. You could see a run play here on 3rd.
Kitna swings it down the field, but it's incomplete. He's looking for Daisy. He was double covered, and now it's 4th down. And the kicking team does come on the field for Trent Dilfer.
It's good, quiet, fit it over the top. They didn't have too much air on it. Had a defender underneath. Good job by the Tennessee defense. You did your job, you force a punt, special teams lets you down, get out there and get a stop.
Jonah DeLongo was the American Conference Special Teams Player of the Year last year. 3 for 4 this year. Davidson High School in Mobile, Alabama. 45-yarder is straight through. Blazers get 3 off their 2nd turnover of the game. Tennessee back on offense when we come back. Pete, you just feel like the Razorbacks are going to be in wild ones every week, don't you? And Ole Miss last week, this week against Memphis. You can see that happening for Coach Pittman's team throughout the season.
You got a playmaker at quarterback. They always have a shot at it, but also turnovers have proven a problem again this year.
And fielded at the 4, past the 30, past the 40-yard line, and out to the 47. Go the Volunteers and DeJuan Morris. Looked like somebody got his headgear, too, at the end of that play.
Might have gotten away with one at the end of this one, regardless. Heck of a return by Morris. Almost breaks it. Yeah, you see it. Yeah, got his head spun around there. Regardless, great starting field position. Aguilar still out there at quarterback.
Morris, the freshman from Chattanooga, has been great in special teams and should see him in the backfield before the end of this one. Aguilar hands it off to Star Thomas, and Star past the 45. Already a touchdown for him in the running game. 10 more there. Aguilar throwing it today, 13 of 20, 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. Add to the tally. Inside the 30 goes Brazel. And Chris is tackled closer to the 20.
Kind of quiet for Brazel. I hadn't heard from him in a little bit. Got that first touchdown. And Aguilar, you see it, not that dissimilar from last week, although he went 14 of 14, then only 10 of his next 22.
22 yards on that one, and Star gets down to the 20-yard line. Balls in the all orange today, wearing those breeches. I know the fans love that.
For a defensive player injury.
It's Denver Warren, who is off the field now.
Quick injury timeout, hopped out.
I know you're fascinated when a former New Mexico State player
It's unreal.
is on the field. He used to play at New Mexico State.
Of course he did.
Jerry Kill has littered college football with talent from his team a couple years ago. Of course, in this state especially. Thomas goes inside the 20. And I know Vols fans are paying attention to this. What do you think of the Vanderbilt Commodores?
Yeah, you know they are, right? It's just on the schedule every year. And this is a better Vanderbilt team than what we saw last year. Vanderbilt team, obviously, it was able to knock off and get a Bama win. Probably should have beaten Texas last year. Couldn't quite pull that one off. But, you know, they're boat racing some teams, especially in the second half.
Trying to exact some revenge against Georgia State tonight on ESPNU. Aguilar, shovel pass, Star. Thomas, touchdown! Sherrod Bryant had a chance at him. No, sir.
See, just set it up, almost like a middle screen. They just flip it up there to him. Thomas does a great job at dancing out of the would-be tackle of Sherrod Bryant. Finds his way into the end zone. And another touchdown for this Vol offense. I wonder how much longer we'll see an Aguilar in the game.
What a day for the Volunteer backfield. Star Thomas did it in the running game, and now this is a touchdown catch for the transfer from Duke.
Back here in Knoxville, Tennessee, you're looking at Mike Keith, the voice of the Tennessee Titans for many years, now back at home at his alma mater as the voice of the Tennessee Vols. And what's crazy for those fans watching today who are both Tennessee Titans and Volunteer fans, well, today we have the former voice of the Titans and the current voice of the Titans, both inside Neyland Stadium, calling Tennessee Volunteer football today. How about that, Titans TZ?
Tighten up. It is, and it's an honor to be in the same facility with him. He is a real hero of mine. He is a National Sportscaster of the Year for the state of Tennessee many times, and I know Volunteer fans are thrilled to have him calling the Vols back home here in Knoxville. John Ward to Bob Kessling to Mike Keith. And
pretty
that's
good run.
Extraordinary to have those three calling Volunteer games. And just one more thing about him. Tomorrow, he'll become the 19th member of the Titans Ring of Honor. He'll be honored at halftime tomorrow. It certainly will always be a proud member of the Titans family.
That's incredible. Quite an honor. Been with him for a long time.
After the play, personal foul, kicking team number 11. The 15-yard penalty will be added to the dead ball spot. First down, UAB.
It was kind of Alyssa to put that together, and our crew as well. And boy, the team that Mike Keith is calling is scoring a lot of touchdowns. His touchdown call is touchdown Big Orange. Everybody was wondering what that would be, and he said it 7 times so far today.
Yeah. I wonder if he's changing like the inflection, because after a while you can't just, does he say it the same way every time?
Oh, he's got all kinds of
different ways to
tricks.
get there. With John Ward, you know, he had the way he would say Tennessee was kind of unique, right? Ton of saying.
Yeah, Kessling did it too. Miss Bob, hope he's doing well. Enjoying getting to maybe listen and watch the Vols and enjoy some retirement. They're just trying to get the yardage marked off properly, and so UAB with that personal foul called on the Vols will start the drive at their own 40. Jacobs and Jackson have been in the backfield most of the day with Kitna. Kitna, line of scrimmage throw, will lose yardage. Caleb Brown tackled in the backfield there by Boo Carter. SEC all-freshman last year. Dropped that football in a punt earlier, but a nice tackle for loss.
Trying to hustle his way out of that. Dig a little bit of a hole when you don't execute well on that punt return. That's what led to a UAB field goal. Obviously, defense did a good job of bowing its neck on that quick change.
Loss of 2 on that last play. Kitna, that's behind his target. Some confusion with Solomon Beebe there.
Ty Redmond, another great break on the ball. We've seen that a couple times from the true freshman. Excellent, able to drive on some of these throws. Another third down for the UAB offense.
Kitna, another good rifle over the middle right at the marker. Caleb Brown with the catch.
You see it. You see why these coaches at UAB are impressed with what they have in quarterback and Kitna.
That's Evan McRae that made the catch there. Not 5 or 6, it's 8. Those numbers get bunched up down there on the field. McRae, the senior from Raleigh, made the catch, and they did not look at this to see if, in fact, he got the first, and they had marked him short of the 50-yard line.
It's right there at it, that's for sure. It's 4th and inches. There's not been much running room in the middle. Tennessee's got some of their depth players there along the front. You see UAB wants to make sure they get it done.
Timeout, UAB. It is their first.
Blazers have time to think about getting a foot here. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. this week's featured women's volleyball doubleheader Wednesday night. Number 6 Kentucky hosts South Carolina at 7 Eastern at historic Memorial Coliseum. Then number 2 Texas, the defending national champs, host Vandy at the Greg. Should be 2 great matches right here on the SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app. UAB has 4th and inches. UAB gets the first down. Last second effort by Isaiah Jacobs. Arion Carter was all over him.
It did not look good initially. Tennessee clogging it up right there near the line to gain. Great job by Jacobs, that second effort to spin out of the tackle and get the yardage needed for a 4th down conversion right there at midfield.
Kitna over the middle. Not much for Jackson out of the backfield. Jeremiah Thielander, the junior from Gainesville, Georgia. You're just there, Stitch. 2-year starter and middle linebacker.
High school football last night, Gainesville, Georgia. Thielander's hometown. They got a stadium that's only slightly smaller than this one.
Throws a first down ball to the Blazer bench to BB.
Putting together a pretty good drive. We saw this before.
13 yards.
Yeah, at the end of the second quarter. We saw the Blazers able to move the ball a little bit, able to do so here. 4th down conversion to extend this drive.
Kitna. Oh, that's the pick. Jumping it is Andre Turrentine. Innsworth High School, Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, Coach Banks dialed up the pressure, brings linebacker blitz. There's Thielander on the blitz. Kitna just trying to stab one in there with pressure right in his face. Thielander setting up Turrentine for the turnover. How's that for some alliteration, friends?
It's his 3rd career interception. Of course, he began his collegiate career at Ohio State and is playing in his 41st career game for UT today. Jake Merklinger is in now at quarterback for the Vols. And it's Peyton Lewis that gets out past the 40.
So day's over for Aguilar, and you get Merklinger in there who's, boy, talk to the coaches. They love this guy, his competitive character. Let's get in there and mix it up.
He'll throw here. Plenty of time. Nobody open. Gets rid of it into the Tennessee bench. Pressure by A.J. Brown there. Vols just went over 200 yards on
There's
the
no
ground.
foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the tackle box and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
2nd down.
He clearly was. UT leads in rushing each of the last 2 years in the SEC, averaging over 200 rushing yards a game, and they're right at the mark today.
Pretty good record. Over 200 plus rushing yards, just demonstrated.
Won 24 in a row with that, and they have now over that mark as Lewis goes forward. Merklinger was the 3rd string quarterback last year. Now he's the backup, and you would think Jake would throw the ball here on 3rd down. I love the story that the coaching staff was telling us yesterday about watching him play high school basketball for Calvary Day in Savannah, Georgia, and watching how competitive he was in the high school basketball game and saying, that's it, we're offering him a scholarship.
Yeah, it was pretty competitive. A lot of back and forth, intense environment. He did not back down.
3rd and 8, he throws at the feet of his target, caught by Jack Van Dorselaer. No.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, 4th down.
line judge ran up like he thought it was a catch on the other side. Yeah. Umpires right on top of it. Back judge too. Ball is just a little bit low for Merklinger.
Here is the switch kicker, Jackson Ross, the Australian. Kick it deep down there to Caleb Brown.
No, he's still in the stadium. Maybe he left.
Let's see which foot he uses. It's the right one. And it's another beautiful punt. And it's once again down by Bennett Brady. Great long snapper, trained by the Ball for Life, Morgan Cox. Let's take it back to the studio. All right, so they didn't get the two-pointer, just a one-point game, 32-31. It is a great tradition here in the TV booth in Neyland Stadium for Matt Stinchcomb to turn his head to ABC in between plays.
It's a lot of great football being played.
Nate Rogers is in at quarterback. The Wildcat. They got to find a way to get this guy the ball more often. Boo Carter on the tackle.
He's done it a couple of times out of these formations. He does an excellent job of capitalizing. Basically the same play concept. Able to pick up positive yards in the ground game. You have to wonder, does he have, can he pass? Can he throw the football in this skill set? Might be something to add.
After an 8-yard carry, Kitna back in on 2nd and 2. Play action. Steps up. First down ball. Out of bounds at the 23 to Jackson.
Like it, nothing downfield. Check it down. Get the yardage needed. Good awareness. What it is, just move the sticks. You know, a lot of the challenges. You see offensive play caller Alex Mortensen. The biggest thing is possess the football. It's a form of defense versus a high-octane offense like Tennessee on the heels of having forced the only punt of the afternoon.
Under pressure, Kitna, ball's out. And the Blazers do recover it. Boo Carter forced the fumble.
Carter got in there really early. Kitney definitely was
on the field. And the quarterback lost possession of the ball, brought it to his hand moving forward. 2nd down.
Logan Moore, the right tackle, saved the day by recovering it for UAB. It was a loss of 7.
We've seen that a couple times this afternoon. Protection breaks down. Kitna that time was just trying to buy time to get the ball out of his hands.
Play clock running out.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So obviously everybody knew it'd be a tall order for UAB today, but we're just referencing Alex Mortensen. Trent Dilfer's the head coach there. His offense coordinator, Alex Mortensen, we just showed you him a moment ago, played at Arkansas 9 years as an analyst for Alabama and Nick Saban, now the OC for this Blazer bunch. What does he call it? 2nd and 21. Get some of the yardage back. His lag makes the catch, but drops the football. Fumble recovery. Touchdown, Tennessee. That's Caleb Beasley. Beasley, who played for Trent Dilfer in high school, scores a touchdown against him in college.
The ruling on the field is a catch and a fumble recovered by the defense for a touchdown.
Well, that was the one column. You can see a great job by Boo Carter. Just punched it right out. Great awareness. And you got a teammate Got him calf rope. They're all around his legs. So Boo Carter just comes in there and takes a shot at that football, popped it right out. Great awareness. Tennessee closing the gap on the turnover margin.
Max Gilbert, 25 of 25 on extra points this year. One more look at the punch out. And then Beasley, Lipscomb Academy graduate in high school in Nashville, Tennessee, winning state championships for Trent Dilfer when he was there. There they are together. And Dilfer went on and on about him and Edwin Spillman, who of course also plays for the Vols, saying they were two of his very favorite players to coach.
Well, they enjoyed a ton of success. What was it, back-to-back state championships?
Yep.
Pretty dominant run.
There's an injury down at the 4-yard line that Tennessee is still dealing with, and there is a volunteer laying on his back down there. Do not have a better angle of the field than this, so we'll wait on who that is. And while we have a moment, send it back to the studio. Bennett Warren is the injured volunteer who was helped off of the field, a redshirt freshman from Houston. You don't want to see that if you're Coach Heupel. Already down one in David Sanders, hoping he'll be back in the weeks to come, maybe next week against Mississippi State. It's Tennessee's second fumble recovery for a touchdown this year. Dangerfield with another touchback. Tonight, after our primetime game between Southeastern Louisiana and LSU, we'll have SEC football final with Dari Noka, Chris Doring, and Benjamin Watson. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day and break down all the games. It's also available on the all-new ESPN app. You give the Gators any chance in Miami? I mean, that defense looked pretty strong against LSU last Saturday night.
I was about to say, you clean up some of those turnovers, right? You think about the timing in which those turnovers happen for Florida. You know, the end of the half, and then you're in field goal range. You don't have to press, you do, and you turn it over again. Otherwise, it's a one-possession game for the Gators towards the end versus what's thought to be one of the best teams in the country in LSU.
Rogers running the Wildcat. Nothing doing there. Boo Carter. Boy, he's looked good since he coughed up the football. He's made a ton of plays on defense, especially that last play forcing the fumble.
He really has. And to put a bow on it, so the answer is yeah. Yeah, I do give Florida a chance in that football game. A lot of eyeballs on this game. They're going to be paying attention, or should. That Northern Illinois-Mississippi State game, next opponent for Tennessee.
They're on SEC Network together in Stark Vegas next week. Kitna back in there, throws it to Brown. Caleb breaks tackles and gets a first down.
Repeatedly, UAB's gotten success out of these formations where they divide the line of scrimmage. So they'll split out some of their linemen and do it again here. You send a center or a guard and a tackle all the way to the top of the screen on the numbers. You just throw it out there if you want. They got numbers now.
15-yard completion. Kitna, deep ball, wide open target, and it's Caleb Brown for a touchdown. 61 yards. Some confusion in the Volunteer secondary.
We talk about the whole reason you do this is for confusion. No safety help. As you could see, definitely confused from an assignment standpoint outside. Just checking up. Timothy Merritt just turned around. That's twice today now where these formations found a way to help UAB get into the end zone.
Jonah Delonga kicks the extra point.
Of course, if you're Army, the next opponent for UAB, they're sitting there going, wow, this package continues to expand.
Longest play of the season for UAB, 61 yards.
And you look at the numbers for Jalen Kitna, those are more than respectable numbers. About a guy that, and he's had to do repeatedly, where he's had to do it with pressure in his face.
Coach Dilfer still coaching his boys up over there on the sideline.
Yeah, it's just, you know, getting to spread the ball around, 11 different receivers today. And defensively, it kind of had to been all over the place. We were talking with their coordinator, Steve Russ. It's like, yeah, you know, you got a little bit of Navy, and then obviously Akron's distinct from that. Tennessee's distinct from that. And then you go back to Army. So you've got a couple of option football looks in there. It's the diversity of offensive approaches in college football that can make life challenging for these D coordinators.
Again, State and NIU coming up next, presented by Sonic here on SEC Network. Number 3 LSU Tigers against Southeastern Louisiana tonight at 7:45. And the Horns, ranked 8th in the land, have Sam Houston. How about Blake Shapen? Great start to the season. State hasn't been 4-0 in over a decade.
Impressive what way they've been able to sprint out of the gates. Got that victory over Arizona State. A close ball game last year.
Merklinger throws, and that's caught by Van Dorselaer, freshman from Southlake, Texas. DeJuan Morris is in the backfield now, and there's DeJuan. DeJuan with flags on the field inside the 10.
Holding, offense, number 1. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, remains second down.
Would have been a 62-yard run, but Travis Smith, another freshman, called for holding.
Well, quietly, you know, what doesn't get noticed a lot's given to the offensive front, and should in the ground game. But for explosive runs, the receivers have to be engaged in the blocking. And, you know, this time, Travis Smith just a little too enthusiastic. I don't know. I don't know if a flag needs to come out on that one. Regardless, you can see DeJuan Morris. We saw it on that kick return earlier. He's got some burst. Another young contributor on this Tennessee team.
Back to the ground. Morris will get a couple of freshmen from Chattanooga at the end of 3 quarters. Volunteers with over 200 yards passing, over 200 yards rushing. Joey Aguilar throwing for over 200 yards for the 28th straight game. It's the longest active streak in the FBS.
That is the end.
He's out. Merklinger's in at the start of the 4th quarter on Rocky Top. Goodness. Update there, Peter. Thank you. Walt Morris, the carry. Yeah, Memphis just gets a first down. We have the ESPN app here in the booth, and that is a huge win for the team on the other side of this state. The Memphis Tigers. Morris, Dewan up near a first down, just short. You know, a win like that in the American Conference that UAB plays in, that could be a win to watch as you get close to college football playoff time.
Yeah.
Obviously, here the tackle for loss, Rod Bryant on the tackle. Nice job there on Morris. Now, obviously, you have to win your conference in order to get into the college football playoff in the group of 5. But then you have to figure out, okay, who's the best conference champion? And a win against a team like Arkansas could go a long way.
This conference, I mean, the upsets. USF, they're starting to stack up.
Yeah.
There's quite a few victories they've been able to pull non-conference.
South Florida beat Florida. Arkansas loses to Memphis. Well, the UAB defensive lineman looked like he was ready to go across. And
offside, defense number 9 in the neutral zone, causing the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. The result of the foul is a first down.
Mr. Warren.
Just a little early. See that? Neutral zone.
On 1st and 10, Merklinger. Nothing open, stays upright. Good job.
How about that?
Teaching the tackler and getting 5 yards.
Yep. You know, instead of getting out of bounds, said, no, I'm going to stay in bounds, see if I can pick up another 3 or 4 yards.
Goes back to the ground. That's blown up. Morris tackled by Jamichael Rogers.
Nice play that time by Rogers. Excited to get him back. A guy that missed the first 3 games for UAB defensively.
Jeremiah Vessel, you saw him. He was in there too. On 3rd and 9, Merklinger, the pocket collapses. So does he. That's the first sack that Tennessee has allowed all year. The other one, I get, well, it's counted as the second. The last week it was intentional grounding that was called, which was questionable. This is a legitimate one.
Yeah, and this one really, you don't want to call it could have been a coverage sack, right? Merklinger just didn't like what he had downfield a couple times. It's been a game where he just has not liked his options. Pulls the ball down, but you're right. First real sack Tennessee's allowed.
Jackson Moss, right-footed again. Iverson hooks, fair catch just past the 20-yard line. All balls on Rocky Top. the 266-foot Sun Sphere in Knoxville, of course, built for the 1982 World's Fair. You're watching SEC college football presented by Allstate. This is a beautiful place to go to college. Shout out to my favorite current ball, Walker Golden from Charlotte, North Carolina. I think his dad is still hanging out at the SAE house, even though he's approaching 50. Oh boy. Kitna swings it out to Jackson and BB. Or to Solomon BB, excuse me. And Solomon out of the backfield. Picks up 26 yards. Out near midfield. This UAB offense has got something. Obviously, defensively is where they're going to have to show significant improvement if they're going to compete at the top of the conference. Kitna pushes it downfield and had him too. It's Antonio Ferguson, and overshot Antonio.
You said it, though, Taylor, you're right. You know, this offense, they've got some pieces to work with. You know, put together some drives. We talked about it repeatedly. When you get these unorthodox offensive formations, it's been more than enough to confuse the Tennessee defense. And here it is again now. It's similar to that swinging gate. That's a wide receiver that's going to snap the football.
Ryder Burton takes the snap and takes on tacklers just short of the first. Boo Carter on the tackle.
We saw early.
Illegal formation, offense number 5. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's the thing that I would always wonder when they do this. It just takes so much effort to get lined up properly.
Caleb Brown was the one that snapped the football. He did that earlier as well. Very similar formation.
Kitna, sideline ball. Extra effort there. You got to be careful with that, Boo. Iverson hooks on that catch. Let's go back to that penalty call.
So see Caleb Brown, he's right there in the middle. He's going to snap it. You've got 5 on the line of scrimmage up top. Unless they're saying they didn't have 7. Maybe the receiver at the bottom of the screen wasn't up on the line of scrimmage. Can't have more than 4 in the backfield.
3rd and 15 for Jalen Kitna. Caught, but only for about a 4 or 5 yard gain by Hooks. Trey Poteet on the tackle. So Patrick Foley will come back in to punt. This will be his 6th one of the day. Vols get it at the 20. Going to be 3-1 going to Starkville next Saturday.
And in part by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above.
Well, it's no secret here in Knoxville that Joey Aguilar has quickly become one of the most beloved Tennessee Vols in the entire state. But a close second, maybe even tied with Joey, his mom, Lydia, who's been in the stands for all 3 of their first games. She wasn't able to make it to the game today. Some of the fans kind of looking around, wondering where Miss Aguilar is. Well, she tweeted on social media during the game that this is why she wasn't able to make it. How about Joey's new nephew, Leo, already wearing Tennessee orange, guys? Pretty great.
All right, Leo, welcome. Over the top, good ball by Merklinger, caught by Joachim Dotson.
And you know, guys, it's really cool to listen. I'm on the field pregame talking to folks all around this Tennessee program. The way the Aguilar family came to Knoxville with their arms outstretched to this Tennessee fan base, and they love on that Aguilar family just as hard right back. It's been really, really cool to watch that relationship bloom.
It has. Merklinger, incomplete, throwing into traffic there. Wanted to get it to Tommy Winton III, but he was covered up on the play by Tariq Watson. Let's take a look at the Saturday MVP brought to you by Sport Clips, and it goes to Leo Aguilar's uncle. Or to his, is that right? His uncle?
That's right.
Okay.
His uncle. That's right.
218 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and also ran it for 11 yards today.
The lone blemish, really, that interception, a deflected pass. Otherwise, another clean game.
Justin Baker, freshman from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Tackled by Tylen McNichols, who lost his helmet and will have to come out of the game for a play.
That was an interesting one.
Offside. Defense number 55. Jumping into the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So get in the neutral zone and then watch the center. Center just pass sets, picks the ball up, never snapped it. I'm sure they get that free 5 yards. Good heads up play.
That's too many for the Blazers. 3rd and 5 now instead for Merklinger. Pumps, throws wide of his target. It's Dotson again, now 4th down.
See, a little bit choppy since depth players have gotten in there for Tennessee offensively, and UAB finding ways to get some stops here and there.
So Ross out there again for the 3rd time.
Tell you what, Taylor, you know what I've noticed, or maybe I should have noticed, I don't know, do they still do the push-ups for every point scored? I don't know that the cheerleaders, I think they tapped out on that one.
It's understandable. Do 70 a couple weeks ago. 7:35 to go in this one, all Tennessee. early start for Ole Miss there against the Wave. Auburn with their first ever trip to the great state of Oklahoma going on. No score there. Kitna swings it out. First down past the 30. It's Brandon Hawkins on the catch. And a good ball there from the, it'll be a 12-yard completion. So one game we have not addressed yet that I need Langer's thoughts on in a second. Jacobs' helmet's popping off. Gets up near the 35-yard line. That's the Mayor's Cup. You know, the one thing the Mayor's Cup on ESPN tonight at 7 o'clock will not feature is Eli Drinkwitz live on the air having something to say about where Alyssa went to college.
You know, I will say a lot of Tennessee fans, too, when I had them ranked second in the conference this week, said, okay, we forgive you for being a South Carolina alum. I don't know how to feel about that game, boys.
Aren't you undefeated calling Tennessee games?
Football, yes, we all are as a crew, I believe.
Yeah.
Should be thrilled to see it.
I was actually undefeated, like 17-0 or something between football and men's basketball until Tennessee was upset by South Carolina. I think it was 2 years ago here in Knoxville. I was also there when they beat #1 Bama in basketball in Knoxville, and you know that happened before the record was broken, so I'll take it.
We only keep track of the victories.
You want to have Tennessee fans on your side, a wise person once told me.
There's a lot of them.
They're sending all kinds of messages about how often they'd like us to come back. Jackson is wrapped up, falls everywhere. Our spotter, Russ Moore, says, let's shout out Jordan Burns first. But there's a handful of guys that were in there.
Throw that one a bunch of different ways. Great job getting upfield and modeling them up. Looked like they were going to be able to get to the edge.
Did Alyssa pick the Mizzou South Carolina game? I don't think I heard a pick there.
I don't have to make picks. I just have to rank all 16 teams in the SEC.
Timeout. UAB. It is their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Speaking of Langer and Stench, our all-new SEC Network Fall Football weekday lineup is out. For Monday reactions to Friday previews, we have you covered throughout the season. Every show also available streaming on the all-new ESPN app. SEC Now with Stench, Chiz, Harp, and Langer.
Yeah, Dari Sprinkled. Hey, special SEC Now this Tuesday.
Oh, that's
hosted
right.
by, are we calling it SEC Now, Alyssa? You're hosting it, right? Big
I
reveal.
believe so. I will say I have zero information about what the schedules are going to look like.
So help me understand. We're announcing next year's schedule, and we're also announcing who everybody plays for the next 4 years.
Yeah,
is that right?
The permanent opponents is something that a lot of people are going to fixate on. Obviously, the 3 permanent SEC opponents, and that'll change after 4 years. But the SEC schedules dates, I believe, at a later time.
That's a 4th down throw, and it's a 1st down ball to Jacobs. And so UAB moves the chains. That would be a fun thing to do in the last 5 minutes. Open the phones and let ball fans tell us
who
they
three?
want. Yeah, who are the permanent opponents?
Well, the big
Vanderbilt. Alabama? Do we think for sure?
I think almost certainly.
Okay.
But then
because Alabama has to play Auburn.
Right. I think the big rub is the Georgia game.
Right.
Do you get that 3rd rivalry game versus Georgia?
Because Georgia has to play Florida.
And Auburn.
Yeah. Getting them running around. He's played a good game.
He has.
BB with the catch.
Formation. I mean, again, the creativity that UAB's utilized, and it has proven to be difficult at times. But yeah, it's just, so who do you think? Who do you think the 3rd one is? Are you allowed to speculate?
Well, let me jump back in here. Obviously,
Kentucky,
I've been busy prepping for this game all week. I want to make a correction. Not permanent 3 opponents, but the annual. Those will be revisited every 4 years.
I see.
Okay, so maybe Georgia isn't among Tennessee's 3 for the first 4 years, but then in the 5th year they pick them back up or something.
Kitna's thrown for over 303 straight games, and that was a incomplete ball there. But Alyssa, to confirm, you are telling us the entire 2026 schedule and when the games will be played.
We will be talking a lot of future SEC matchups on Tuesday night from Bristol, Connecticut. It's going to be a ton of fun. And yeah, I mean, the speculation on social media for what fan bases are going to be talking smack to other fan bases over the next few years has been wildly entertaining. So we hope it will be for everybody on Tuesday as well.
Evidently, one of the officials is overruled there because he said incomplete. That was called a first down catch. Kitna stays alive, and Jacobs turns it into something there. Kitna, you can't get this guy down. He's thrown for over 300 yards in the game. Third straight time he's done it. Could have been sacked 6 or 7 times back there.
I think
it's only been sacked 3 times.
For a defensive player injury.
Tennessee play a little slow to get up.
It's Jamal Wallace.
I think back to what Coach Dilfer told you, Alyssa, earlier when he was saying, you know, just embrace the battle, I think, something to that effect, where you're saying what needs to happen. And they certainly have. I mean, they've continued. This game got away from them quickly, but you can see still battling in this one.
All right, take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
I'm going to give it to Mike Matthews. There was a lot of catches in this game, but how about this one? A little reminiscent of a throw from last week. Better version for our Tennessee fans. And this one, Mike Matthews, fantastic graduate from Parkview High School. Excellent football pedigree from that program.
What do you know about that
Georgia.
place?
They just churn out great football players, left and right. Skill players, line of scrimmage players. Mike Matthews really starting to grow into that role.
We do have a St. Paul's Episcopal School player playing tomorrow in Nashville for the Titans.
What a stretch.
Jalen Armour Davis. But you've got Mike Matthews of Parkview today, and Alyssa's got Charles House III, the freshman from Charlotte, North Mecklenburg High School.
That's right.
He's in the game today.
Go Vikings.
That's right.
Xavier Daisy from Greater Atlanta Christian School. Justin Baker spent some time there.
3 minutes left, folks. Kitna underneath throw to Jacobs.
Talk about their high schools. Well, let's get into their likes and dislikes, maybe hobbies. Birth weight, eye color.
There is 3 minutes left in the game. Career high 35th completion.
Wow.
For Kitna on that play. This is third down. Kitna, 36th completion to Hawkins, who had the first touchdown of the game.
Brandon Hawkins has had a game. For that one, 6 catches, 59 yards, had that touchdown. And the best part was targeted 6 times, now 7. Every time the ball finds its way towards him, he's coming up with catches.
Sideline down to the 26 goes Iverson Strap Hooks. At the 2-minute timeout, Volunteers getting to 3-1, ready to go. Here's some cowbells next Saturday.
someone was doing a story and they're like, Lane Kiffin would be the most intriguing person to actually know the real stories of all the stops and all the interactions, what really happened. And I was like, that's probably true.
Yeah, that's why we called you, wanted to do this.
I look forward to watching that. He mentioned all the stops, 9 before he went to college.
Wow.
Monty Kiffin, of course, his dad. 19 moves in Lane Kiffin's 50 years on this earth. Isaiah Jacobs goes straight ahead down near the 20-yard line. He'd never lived anywhere more than 5 years until he got to Oxford, and now he's in his 6th season there. Sounds like he's finally found a home. That'll be fun to watch.
Coach's kid, right? It'll be interesting to hear. It'll be fascinating, really, insight. Ryan McGee was all over it. That's why they wanted to do it, right? Should be interesting.
On 3rd and 1, over the top, inside the 5, down near the goal line is Xavier Daisy. 1st and goal for UAB. That is the 38th completion for Jalen Kitna. It ties a program record.
Xavier Daisy, we said it coming into this game, heard it from the coaches. They wanted him to step up, guy they needed to get the ball to more. He ignited that 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. Another great catch by the GAC Spartan.
I bet Scott Van Pelt is watching this. 1st and goal, spinning end zone. And that's a touchdown for the Blazers. Isaiah Jacobs. Stanford Steve and SVP might have something to say about that touchdown.
Significant drive. Significant drive. The more arid parts of the country. Nice run. Nice physical finish. See, it looks like Brandon Snee a little bit shaken up at the end of that one. Pops up. Good to see.
Point by DeLonga, good. 24 points for the Blazers today off of a couple of turnovers. So there's what the Vols have. You just never know how it works out, but you and I were talking about this at halftime. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tennessee finish with double-digit victories.
Yep.
If they can get all these guys back, keep being so efficient offensively. This is a team that could get back into that college football playoff conversation.
No question.
Of course, we're in it last year and lost to Ohio State, but this team looks every bit as good as last year's team.
No question. You know, watching them, I like this team a lot, and it's not even the team. This isn't the best lineup yet we've seen from an availability standpoint. They're still playing their depth players.
You know, you and I have a big birthday coming up in a couple of years. And I wouldn't mind celebrating my 50th at an SEC college football game, like Michelle West is doing today of Clinton, Tennessee. Happy birthday, Michelle.
50 great years.
I'm serious. If Alyssa and company wants to take us to an SEC football game for a 50th, I'm in.
That'd be great. I'm doing it in June, but
yeah, well, thankfully they don't play in June, so we'll have to wait and celebrate your birthday a little later.
Yeah, that was great. She was fired up. That whole crew.
Yeah,
they were just shot in the tail to be here at a game. Here in the was it the West End Suites?
Yeah,
a couple of floors down.
Blazers with 394 total yards of offense today. That's just 60 shy of what Tennessee ends up with at 454.
There's a lot of shorter fields, especially in that first half in Tennessee offensively.
Marklinger hands it off to Morris. DeWan breaks it to the sideline. Tackled by Jalen Cheek. 19 yards for the freshman from Oakland High School in Chattanooga.
Well, we've said it a couple times today. No Dylan Sampson, hard to replace, but boy, there's quite a few backs that can get the job done. Wow, shot.
Merklinger takes the shot and gets it inside the 20. Braylon Harmon. .41 yards. Still trying to get a playoff here. 10 seconds left in the game. Merklinger throws, end zone incomplete in Harmon's hands. 2 seconds left.
Throwing the football. Trying to get it in the end zone again. Here late.
Last play of the game. Trouble the snap, and Merklinger just downs it, and that'll do it. 56-24, the final on Rocky Top today. Josh Heupel's team is 3-1, and they will be hearing cowbells next Saturday afternoon on SEC Network when they play Mississippi State. Trent Dilfer, great high school success in this state. His Blazers fall to 2-2, and they host Army next week. Alyssa's with Coach Heupel.
Here with Joey Aguilar. Joey, when it comes to the way y'all approach this game after an emotional weekend a week ago, what has the week been like that lent y'all to being able to get off to such a fast start?
You know, just you got to take it week by week. And, you know, tough game last Saturday, but, you know, that's in the past, and we got to flush it. And this is a new opponent on the schedule, and we just got to go week by week and prepare week by week like, yeah, just like I said, just the next team on our opponent and just take it week by week.
How would you describe what it's like as a quarterback having those 3 running backs be able to run the football the way they do?
It's amazing, you know what I mean, to have 3 guys like that. You know, it's definitely helped out the passing game. Just to rotate 3 running backs and just get a different look. And honestly, it just correlates with each other, the pass game and the run game.
You're about to go on the road next week for another SEC matchup. From week 1 to going into next week, where do you feel like this offense has grown the most, and what do you feel like y'all have proven to the country?
I just proved that we could hang with anybody. And, you know, with this fast tempo offense, you know, we're getting better week by week, and we're not at our best. But, I mean, like you guys said, we just take it week by week, and we just keep growing.
All right, so your mom tweeted during the game that she missed the game today because your nephew Leo was born a couple days ago. He's already wearing Tennessee orange because, of course, what does it mean to you that Leo's first ever football game that he watched was you here at the University of Tennessee?
It's awesome, you know what I mean? Congratulations to my sister, you know, having the baby, but Tennessee just got a new fan, so.
Joey, congrats on the win and being an uncle.
Thank you, guys.
That's awesome. Thank you, Alyssa. Does it here from in Knoxville, where our final score is Tennessee 56, UAB 24. For Alyssa Lang, Matt Stinchcomb, Kyle Bender, our entire terrific Tupelo crew. I'm Taylor Zarzer. We appreciate you watching. Let's check back in with Peter Burns, Chris Doring, and Benjamin Watson in the studio.